Whoa, today on Better, it's finally spring. Whoa.
Look at these beautiful tulips here, Channel 3.
That's really good. Yay. All right, Julie's here. She's going to tell you how to grow your own.
Plus, the hottest spring fashions, courtesy of the West Farms Mall.
And we're getting cheap and easy in the kitchen with Christine Geronimo.
Better starts right now.
It's better this way. It's better this way. It's better this way. Today.
Well, our producer just said that might have been the worst opening ever.
I agree.
Thank you.
I have
Thank
to
you
agree
so
with
much. We want to thank Olessa for stepping in. Kara obviously caught what I got. And she was not feeling well on Friday, and I looked at her and I said, it's not going to be good. No, I'm better.
Are you?
Yes,
100%?
I'm good. 100%. I'm on that antibiotic that my doctor gave me, and I feel great. I just still stand a little bit ningly. I feel like...
No, it's not bad. It's not bad. You sound much better than last week.
Good. I want to thank our studio audience for coming in. We have Karen, we have Jackie, we have Donna, and we have Ramona.
So
thank you for coming. There's only 4 in the audience today, but you know they're going to make up for that. Let's hear you. All righty. That's the way to go. Oh no, who's got that laugh? Is that Ramona's laugh? That's Donna's laugh, isn't it?
They're all pointing at each other.
That's beautiful. Well, you ladies, you have a good time and laugh at whatever you think is funny today, including Olessa dancing, which was Saturday night. I'm just kidding. We had a big event Saturday night, and it was for Chris Radio. If you don't know what Chris Radio is, they do unbelievable, amazing work. They provide audio assistance to sight-impaired people. Like I don't know how many thousands of people they service, but they get them their own special radio, and then they have over 350 volunteers, and they read to the blind people, like store circulars and sports and the comics and every single thing that we take for granted. You know, like a newspaper. They can't read a newspaper because not in Braille, and they, you know, so these wonderful volunteers come in. So Diane is the head. Diane Dunn.
Yes, Dunn.
Yeah.
And it's such an awesome event because I didn't even know because I hadn't done it before, but you dine in the dark. They literally turn the lights down just so you can feel what the experience is like. Right.
And, you know, I had some lovely people sitting at my table, Rebecca Stewart from Hartford Hospital, and Shelley Sinlin, former reporter. And
turned judge.
Yeah, she was the judge. Rebecca looks at me, she goes, I hope my meat is cooked. And I'm like, that's the point. I said, because we can't see what you literally could not see what you were eating. And they just wanted to give you a little taste of what it's like to live with sight impairment. So it was a wonderful organization. And you danced.
I danced. I did. I did the cha-cha with my dance partner, Todd. And this is after I lost the competition and you were trying to make me feel better.
I was trying to make you feel better. You did a great job.
Thank you. I was worried about a possible wardrobe malfunction. There's the not dress.
Yeah,
it was a napkin.
We're not allowed to see the front.
No, I literally wore a napkin, and my grandmother was there, so it was just like cover your eyes.
More importantly, your brother was there.
Yes.
And you know, he's like, you know, these Russians, they are very protective of their people. You know, like Olessa, and Eric was so mad that you didn't win.
I know he was upset.
Like he was like, who is that judge? I'm gonna go. I was like, so you went and stole the trophy.
This is the trophy, and I found it in the changing room, and I was really on the fence. I really wanted to take it home.
You did really want to take it home.
Miss Connecticut won, but she's a professional dancer.
She is a professional dancer.
So I really can't compete with that. So I figured she might already have a couple of these. Maybe she wouldn't miss it.
And our own Channel 3, Matt McFarland, he stepped in, did a great job. He did a great job, and I got to MC the whole event, so it was wonderful. And earlier in the day, I went off to... I had 3 public appearances on Saturday. I was a little busy. Rebuilding Hartford, and it is a wonderful event. This is a photo of me, Kate Rayner, who was covering the story for Channel 3. The mayor, whose birthday was yesterday. I want to wish him a very happy birthday. And that's Jack Brown, who is Teddy Brown. You know, Peter L. Brown, he's doing it right the first time. That's Peter is the father, Teddy is the son, and Jack is the grandson. So that's Jack Brown, and we were all there Saturday morning to kick off this wonderful event. They went into about 26 homes in the greater Hartford area. All of these volunteers, 600 volunteers on the lawn at St. Francis Hospital that morning, and then they each went off to a different house, and they got hammers, and they got nails, and they got paint, and they got lawnmowers, and they went into these people who can no longer afford to take care of their homes.
The whole community coming together.
It was beautiful, and I love to kick that event off, and luckily they know that I can't swing a hammer. I couldn't hit a barn if I were inside of it. So they were like, you just MC the event. And I'm like, okay, that's good. And then I guess I should share my story.
Yeah, I think you should share your story.
Let's just, okay, so Saturday morning, I get a call from the real estate agent that they're going to show my house. So I said, we got to get the house. Yeah, got to get it ready, So I had landscapers come out and kind of fluff up the beds. And I said I was going to do it this year, and then I don't have any time. So I'm in the driveway, and they thatched the lawn, and they put down this it's like a green toilet paper over the lawn, so like I guess the grass seed can grow. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Anyway, they got it on the driveway, and I was like a little freaked out. So I got out there with the hose 7:30 on Saturday morning, and I'm with the hose getting rid of the toilet paper off my driveway. I'm looking at my neighbor's yard, and they have a pile of wood and pallet stuff that they burn, and they put their hockey nets back there. It's like a storage little area.
So it looks a little messy.
Not to the normal person. To me, it looked, like it needed to be tidied up. So I didn't think they were home. So I went into my neighbor's yard, and I spent about 20 minutes tidying up their pile, moving the nets around. They have some outdoor lighting. I moved some pallets around.
Wouldn't you like to have a neighbor like this who goes in the backyard and cleans your house?
It's literally in the woods. So you can't really see it, but I'm thinking the neighbor, like whoever's coming to see my house is going to be able to see it. I step out of the pile after I'm done. Oh, there's my neighbor standing on his deck. He's like, can I help you? And I'm like, hi. He goes, what are you doing? And I didn't know what to say. I said, I'm tidying. He goes, you're tidying my yard? I said, yes. He goes, are you sure you're not looking for your cat? Like he was trying to give me an alibi. Oh. And I should have said yes, and I said, no, I'm crazy, and I'm tidying your yard. So he said, you're right, you are crazy. And then he went in and had his breakfast, and then I just slinked back to my house. Is that the most embarrassing thing ever?
Hey, everybody went home happy. You're happy it's clean, they're happy it's clean.
And before you know it, the people came, they looked at my house, they were in there for 3 minutes and turned around and left. So I guess they didn't like the house.
Oh, maybe they would have liked the big pile in the backyard.
You know what? They looked a little weird. I didn't think. I don't want them living there anyway.
Okay.
There you go. All right, moving on.
World Trade Center.
Yes, it becomes the biggest, the tallest?
It already is, but now they're adding this antenna that's going to be, I don't know it's humongous. It's
800 tons.
408 foot. That's going on top of the Empire State Building. It's going to be humongous.
The World Trade.
I mean, the World Trade Center.
The Freedom Tower.
Yes, so it's going to be overlooking the Statue of Liberty and everything. And
the building will be at 1,776 feet tall. That's a big, tall building.
And the tallest building is actually in Dubai, and that one is 27,000.
2,700
feet tall. So it's 100. I can't do the math.
100 feet more. That's considerably more.
Is that right? We're doing the math.
Did you ever go in that building, Haynes?
I went by it.
You went by that building. Boy, I don't want to.
And it's adjustable. So if anybody in the world can build something taller, they can make that.
Oh, it's an adjustable building in Dubai.
Oh,
so they can make it higher if anybody tries to beat them.
So anyway, our building will be one of the tallest buildings in the Western Hemisphere. And tell us about the piece that they found from the plane.
Friday, I don't know if you heard about this, but they found a 5-foot by 4-foot piece of metal in an alley near the site, and they just have deduced that it's actually a piece of the plane that went down, part of the landing gear. Now, this is amazing. It's literally, 12 years later, and they're still finding parts. And that lends, the credence of, well, are there more, body parts in that? So now they've cordoned off the area. This is literally between two buildings. It was wedged between a nearby mosque and an apartment building and the part was believed to be one of the hijacked planes. And now they're trying to find more human remains in this hidden alley where debris may still contain human remains, which is just incredible.
That's unbelievable.
So, we'll keep a good thought. Maybe there'll be a little bit more closure for some people who are, I think, and again, I'm going to be wrong, I think 40% of the victims were there were no remains of any of the victims, so maybe they'll get a little bit of closure, those people. All right, we're moving on to
soap operas.
Big day today for those of you who like All My Children and One Life to Live. It's online.
You can watch their 30-minute, I believe they're 30-minute
episodes.
And you can continue to watch, and I'm understanding that they're a little bit more risque.
Yes, I heard there's a lot more skin. How could that possibly be imaginable? There's enough skin on the regular soap operas. Wow, that's one angry priest.
Yes. what's happening there. I don't know. I watch Days of Our Lives, so I don't know anything about these two, but everyone's very excited because now you can watch them, apparently.
Now, and it says you can get it free if you have Xfinity. You just go online if you have Xfinity, and they will. That guy was on our show. That last one. I forget the names of everybody.
Okay.
But anyway, so you can get it online, and if not, you can subscribe. Get EW on your tablet. Subscribe today and get instant access. I don't know what EW means. Oh,
Eyewitness News.
Oh, it's from Entertainment Weekly.
Oh.
Okay, so you can go through that way. All right, I don't want to talk about Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan. I don't want to talk about him either.
He's married.
He's married. Good for him. Tim Tebow got the axe this morning.
Oh.
You know, the thinker, the prayer.
So
it didn't work out.
It didn't work out. I think the whole thing was a publicity stunt to begin with because they already had Sanchez. They brought in this guy. They were competing for the quarterback position, blah, blah, blah. Neither of them worked out. They both kind of stink. So now they drafted a new quarterback. Sorry, Jet fans. They have a new quarterback that they just drafted this year. So that means Tebow's out. Potentially Sanchez will be out as well.
Now, is that Mark Sanchez?
Yes.
Wow, I'm pretty good. I know that.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Mark Sanchez, yes.
So, but I always like to look at the prettiest one. So who is prettier?
Mark Sanchez. Well, I don't know. Some people like Tebow.
Is the one they just drafted nice looking?
Not in my opinion, but, you know.
All right. Well, that's all that matters.
You.
That's the only way you're going to get me to watch football.
Okay.
If they have
good-looking men in tight pants
wearing those crazy costumes.
Okay.
Isn't it? I want to show you the world's most expensive lawnmower because I have to have this. $17,000.
For what?
Honey, Father's Day is coming up, and I have 3 cats, so I think I'm worthy of this.
The only way someone should pay for this is if it's gold-plated and mows the lawn on its own.
Let me tell you what it has. Think it's got 4-wheel drive, cruise control, tilt steering, and a powerful 3-cylinder diesel engine that provides extra torque and durability, according to John Deere. And look at that woman. It's strong enough for a man, but made for a woman.
Wait, it also has cup holders. It has a place for you to plug your phone in case you need to make an important phone call.
You see that? It's the top of the line.
It's like the Rolls Royce of
either that
lawnmowers.
Or you can strap some blades to your Honda Civic. They're both the same price. All right, we got a great show for you today. We're going to introduce you to a man that knows all too well what some of the victims of the Boston Marathon bombings know, and we'll show you how he's helping others. That's an incredible story. Plus, a sure sign of spring, tulips. Look at that. Julie Harrison is going to show us how you can get these in your yard. Better's coming back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Better Connecticut. In this week's Kara's Cures, you'll meet a man who knows all too well what the Boston Marathon victims are going through.
Yeah, his name is John Redfield, and he had his leg amputated after a motorcycle accident, and he's actually now helping other amputees heal.
He wants to know, the victims to know not only goes on.
After the Boston Marathon terror attack, some runners will have to learn to walk again. John Redfield knows what that feels like.
It's a shock because you don't know what's out there. You think, life's over, you'll never walk again, you'll never run. Running is probably the farthest thing from most people's minds.
A runner himself, he lost his leg after a motorcycle accident in April of 1991. He refused to give up on running races.
Right after my accident, in fact, in the hospital, I told all the doctors there that I've got an annual race, Thanksgiving Day, that I have to be able to run for. And they all thought I was a little bit crazy, but my prosthetist built me the leg, and I completed the Manchester Road Race.
Only 6 months after his accident, he ran the 5 miles and has been running ever since. Today, he works for the Hanger Clinic here in Wethersfield, one of the largest prosthetic companies in America. He wants the victims of the marathon attacks to know there's hope.
There's support for them. There's a network of amputees that are willing to meet with them, let them know what they can do. It's not really what you can't do. Focusing on what you've lost is a normal process, but there's so much that they can do, and there's so many people out there like myself ready to help them.
Staff members like John often visit with amputees in the hospital to show them how far they've come.
If I'm dressed in long pants, folks don't know that I'm an amputee, which is my goal. Prosthetics have come a long way. In the 22 years that I've been involved, we've got actually active vacuum sockets, which means the socket is drawn up onto the limb, which makes it feel pretty much like it's your leg again. It really doesn't feel like something is dangling off of you. The foot that I'm wearing now has got a hydraulic ankle in it, so it's got motion. from here to here, which adapts for uneven terrain.
There's even a prosthetic built for a marathon.
This is called the Freedom Nitro. And what it does is it absorbs a lot more impact hitting the ground. It compresses and then delivers that energy as you rebound off of it.
Wow.
Kind of like a pogo stick.
And new technology is making life better for amputees.
This is a motor inside, an accelerometer, so if you're standing still, it actually moves. So your foot will be on the ground, and when you get up, so it's the first bionic foot that was out there.
Al Matsunas helped make John's new leg. Crafting a prosthetic is an art.
This is the underneath mold that is actually made that shows what the hand will actually look like after the amputations. Then an artist will work in sculpting, match the other side, and then come up with a silicone restoration that sort of look like this, but will be put over the mold that goes actually over the person's hand. And then looking at side by side, you'd never notice the difference.
So the mission is really to make that person feel
As whole as possible.
They can be personalized.
This is a gentleman who was in the Marines, obviously, and he wanted to personalize his prosthesis so we can put the emblems, etc. on.
Prosthetics can cost from $5,000 up to $100,000, and each one lasts only about 3 to 5 years. Hanger is working to make sure victims of the bombings will be served.
Hanger's committed to helping out in whatever way we can. We are committed to getting people started and getting back up on the prosthesis, and we will, if there are no resources for payment and things, we will voluntarily take care of those.
Hard to believe, but John actually looks at his injury as a gift now.
Someone actually asked me if I could go back and undo what happened, would I? And I can honestly say I don't think I would. I wouldn't know the people I know. I wouldn't be where I am today. I mean, this is actually, part of me.
That's great. All right, there is a support group. It's called EmpoweringAmputees.org that is helping the victims of the bombings and others who have lost limbs as well.
That's right. And John says showing people there is hope is a powerful way to heal. Again, that support group is EmpoweringAmputees.org.
Great. Thanks, Kara. We appreciate that story. All right, up next, we're going into the garden with Julie Harrison. She's going to tell us what we need to know to get these tulips to look like this. This is right outside our studios here in Rocky Hill. All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us. Spring has sprung. Even on a mostly cloudy day, if you have absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous tulips like this, I'm hearing Tiptoe Through the Tulips by Tiny Tim. Are you hearing that?
Yes, I'm hearing it.
It's a little insanity.
It is crazy.
Julie Harrison is here. She has just brought us some beautiful color, and these are right outside our studios.
These are stunning.
Aren't they amazing?
I don't know if I've ever seen tulips like this.
Just look at the size, okay? Here's the palm of my hand, and it just about covers my palm. These are just the biggest tulips. These are from Color Blends, which are out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. I love using local companies. And this variety is called the Royals. And doesn't it look like royalty?
It is. I'm not kidding. Our audience, right? Are they not the most spectacular?
Can anyone do this? I mean, I don't know how to plant, but I can have tulips like this?
You totally can. The only tricky part, Olessa, is that you have to plant them in the fall. Most people see the tulips in the spring and they're like, oh, I want to plant tulips, but it's too late. You've got to do it in the fall.
Okay.
Last fall, I planted these, and I did it the Color Blends method, which is 100 tulips in under 30 minutes. I actually planted this 300. There's 300 bulbs in here. I planted all 300 all together in under 30 minutes. We planted it really quickly. It was awesome. And this is the payoff.
Great.
I am so impressed.
Now, how long will this last? How long will these stay in bloom?
So these started showing a lot of color about a week and a half ago, and they still have probably a good week. It depends on the weather.
Yeah, because if you get a rainstorm or
or if it really warms up, definitely.
About a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us when you started in the fall, and how did you plant them?
Okay, so I just dug the area out.
Right.
So the soil was removed, and I just placed them in top of the lower level of soil, covered them back up.
How many inches down are they?
They're about 4 or 5 inches down.
Okay. And now these are perennial, so they'll come back every year.
Well, they will, except that we use this garden for other plantings. So I'm going to pull these out, and I'm treating these as annuals.
Okay, so that's you can go in and retrieve the bulb, and
you can.
And how do you store that?
Okay, so I'm going to let them dry out and then plant them again in the fall. But if you want to keep them as perennials, you just want to make sure you deadhead.
You can replant them?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, the bulbs.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
So pretend that this poor little guy is all done flowering. You're just going to cut the top off, and I want to show you inside. This is where they make their seeds. See all the pollen?
Yep.
And so if I cut this in half, you can see that this is where the seeds will begin to be produced if you don't deadhead. So you want to make sure you deadhead so that all of the nutrients goes back into the bulb for next year.
Okay.
And the other really, really important thing is that you leave the foliage alone until it turns yellow and crunchy and dried up, and then you can remove it. But if you pull these leaves out or cut them out now, no flowers next year.
Seriously?
Yeah,
So you have
it's
to wait.
really important. The same, it goes with all flowering bulbs. You really need to make sure you leave the foliage
Now,
alone.
do we have to water them, or how does this?
No, especially once they start flowering. You just want to
those
leave them
leaves are
alone.
beautiful.
Aren't they so pretty? And so that one that I just cut off, you've got to look at this.
that. Look at the inside of that flower.
Isn't that
There's a
so
few
pretty?
more coming out of that same.
Yeah, so this was one bulb, and there were 3 flowers coming off of it because they were that big, and there were a couple little bulbettes on the side.
All right, so but how long will it generally take for these, the greenery to get to that brown? Is it a month after they're done
Yeah, it
blooming,
can
or
take
2
a month.
months?
Again, it all depends on the weather.
On the weather.
Mr.
And
Weatherman.
It's really been a cool spring, so finally we're getting into the 70s.
It has, but I hope it doesn't get too much warmer so that we can enjoy these for a really long time.
All right, now next year you would just do the same thing.
Right, plant them in the fall.
You come back in the fall.
And then in the spring, I know in the fall you're thinking about planting mums and trying to figure out what your Halloween costume is going to be. You're not thinking about tulip bulbs, but in fact, that's when you need to plant them.
All right, so we have 4 studio audience members. We're
Okay.
gonna cut one for each.
Well, just remember, don't ever feel bad about cutting them because it's the best thing for the bulb. So,
Okay, so we
cutting
shouldn't
the
feel
flowers,
guilty.
you can bring them inside to enjoy them. Share them with friends.
Yeah,
right?
And cut flowers. If you make sure that they're watered, and you get enough water, they'll last in your house.
And Scott, I love how you did random cuttings. That was exactly what I would have done.
Right, 'cause I didn't want to pull them from one area.
He's a professional.
He is
Here
a
you go, ladies.
professional.
What a
Isn't that
gentleman.
beautiful? There's one for you. One for you. Isn't that beautiful? There you go. Tulips. I mean, 300 bulbs. How much would that cost? I don't even.
So this was about just over $90.
$90 to provide you with this absolutely gorgeous,
Stunning
stunning
garden.
colors.
But remember,
yeah.
you got to plant them in the fall. Julie, thank you
Yes.
so much for bringing this beauty to our yard.
Oh, well, you're so welcome. Happy spring.
Happy spring!
Yay,
Better
spring has
Connecticut
sprung.
back in 2 minutes with more. Stay with us. They're just
Not enough of a sign that spring has sprung. How about some spring fashion? You can brighten up your look for the spring season. We went to West Farms Mall for some great ideas. Take a look. Hey everyone, today we're at West Farms Mall. I'm here with Elizabeth, and we're talking about spring fashion.
Yes, it's that time of year to update your wardrobes for spring. We have some great trends to talk about today from West Farms.
Okay, what are some of the popular trends we'll be seeing?
Some trends this season we'll see are horizontal stripes, some cobalt blue, pops of yellow, pops of color, that peplum look, and also black and white is really big this season.
Okay, what colors are we talking about? I hear jewel tones are really popular.
Jewel tones, we'll see rich greens, mint greens, bright blues, aquas, and black and white. First, we have an outfit from Talbot's. She's wearing a striped blazer with horizontal stripes and popping it out with a cobalt blue pant, which is really popular this season, and strappy shoes along with a clutch with the pop of color. It's that yellow, canary yellow that's really hot this season.
So the colors don't have to match.
No, you're kind of keeping it almost monochromatic, kind of blending it, and then maybe accenting it with a special accessory that makes it look a little different this season.
Okay.
Next, we have an outfit from Banana Republic. She has a classic white denim capri paired with a mint green top. It's that peplum style top that's really, really hot. A great wedge. You see a lot of wedges this season in a metallic gold, along with a brown leather tote.
The white pants. Well, is the myth true? You can wear them, you can't wear them, Labor Day, Memorial Day?
Now it's good any time of the year. White is a staple to have in your wardrobe. Great for summer, of course. But you can also wear it in the spring months and into fall.
Okay, excellent.
Next, we have an outfit from Ann Taylor. She is wearing the aqua blue trend, kind of mixed together. We have aqua capris paired with a floral peplum top again. Belted it this time to have a little different look to that peplum look. With a nude shoe. Nude shoes are really hot this season.
Everybody needs a pair of nude shoes.
Everyone needs a pair of nude shoes. They go with anything you have in your closet, really. The next outfit we have is from White House Black Market. It's the black and white trend that I talked about earlier. And the floral pant is huge this season.
Okay.
Looks good on just about any body type, and you can accent it. Here we have it with black, a simple black cami, a white blazer, and we've popped it out with a little bit of purple. with the purple clutch and the purple ballet flat, which is adorable on her.
Now, this is from White House Black Market, but is this not for the season?
It is. It definitely is.
Pinks too?
Pinks, purples, and you're seeing a lot of black and white, but then accented with a pink or a purple, a yellow, a navy, any kind of bright color.
Okay. Look, I did something in fashion. Yay.
And next we have the maxis back again, and everyone has one in their closet, probably from last summer. Comfortable, cool to wear. You could wear it spring going into summer. This outfit's from the Gap, and she's wearing a long printed maxi dress paired with a denim jacket, which is really great to cover up now when it's a little cool outside. You can always take it off for summer. Very cool, comfortable outfit.
Awesome. And all of these outfits can be found here at West Farms.
Everything's from West Farms, and they're having great sales right now. So if you just come to the mall, the stores are all decked out for spring going into summer.
And somebody can help out and tell you what you need to wear.
Exactly. Most of the stores have personal shopping assistants available, and any sales associate is always willing to help find that trend you're looking for.
Excellent. Happy shopping. Thank you to West Farms for having us and teaching us all about the latest styles, teaching me some things because I'm clueless. Scott, over to you.
Well, as I was just telling John, this is John Holt, not our sports anchor, but nonetheless, we love to have you with Nutmeg Credit Union, and I just love talking mortgages because I think it's the most fascinating and the best thing that you can talk about these days. If you're not refinancing, then you really need to think about this. But first of all, a lot of people don't even think that they can go to a credit union and get a mortgage. That's a misnomer.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people come to a credit union and they think they can just open a savings account or a checking account, but in fact, you can do mortgages, home equity loans, and we're also one of the few credit unions, actually the only credit union in this area that does business mortgages and business loans. So I hope to put that to rest, where you can come in and do your home equity, your loan, your mortgage, or your business loan.
Now, the difference between a lot of people saying, well, then why would I go to a credit? What's the difference between a credit union and a bank?
Well, really, it's the structure. A lot of times the bigger banks, they have to make money for the shareholder because the shareholder has to get a certain return. With a credit union, it's a not-for-profit organization, so any money we make goes back into, lower rates on loans, higher rates on the deposits. So most of the time consumers get the benefit of like a lower rate on a mortgage, for instance.
Right. All right. Now, my mortgage, I'll just talk about my situation. Yeah. 3.75, and it's a 15-year fix. I got about 12 years left. So would it be advisable for me to refinance at this point?
If we have a product called the Homeowners Express, it's rates as low as $2.99. There's no closing costs. There's an 8 and a 12-year program. If there's no closing costs and your rate's 3.75, it would be worth it because right now rates are slightly lower than that. And the thinking is if you have to pay closing costs, you want to at least save 1% from what you currently have.
Okay.
But in the case of you, who may not have a closing cost, if you'd use this product that we have called Homeowners Express, it would be probably worth looking into.
All right. So then, and your payment might go up a little bit if you were trying to downsize the years, but it would probably be offset with the amount of money that you're going to save, so your payment might actually stay the same, and you can get less years left on your mortgage.
Right, and more would go toward the principal because it's less years. You'd pay less on the interest.
So why would you not come in and speak to you people?
I don't know.
Go in and
hopefully
speak
after
to,
this show, you come to
go in there and talk to this man, would you please? Where are the?
We have branches all over, right around the Hartford. We have one in Rocky Hill, just around the corner, New Britain, Manchester, East Windsor. We have one in downtown Hartford. We have one in Newington. We have, I think I mentioned Manchester. I always have to go through my head. We have one opening in Cromwell in the Walmart coming up next month.
Perfect.
And then in Bristol in the late summer.
All right, so let's just go over a couple of the products. 10, 15, 20, 30, and 40-year fixed rate mortgages.
Right.
You got them.
All of them.
A first-time home buyers program?
First-time home buyers program, which is pretty unique. So, a young couple or anyone that has not bought a house yet, maybe have just always rented, and they want to come and buy a first-time home buyers program, come here.
Yoo-hoo. Over there. Are you listening, Olessa? Yeah.
I'm listening.
Renters?
Mm-hmm. I know.
Okay. Go speak
it's
to
a
John.
lot less for a mortgage than it is to rent. It's definitely worth it.
Oh, I'm fully realizing this now.
Although she is my wife and we're trying to get her to move in with me. She's not buying it. 3, 5, and 7-year adjustable rate mortgages.
Yeah, and the adjustable rate mortgages right now, those are probably more along the lines of when you want to just have interest only. But right now with rates so low, you're better off sticking with the fixed rate mortgage.
Okay. And this is the kind of advice you're going to get, though, which is appreciated.
Yeah, rates are completely low, and it's basically time to refinance because they're going to go up.
And what is this 30-year non-owner occupied mortgage?
Well, I think that's if you want to invest. You want to invest in a home or a property, a second home, a summer home. We'll do all of the refinancing for those types of homes as well.
All right, before we close, if you are paying what interest rate right now, you really should come in as what?
Anything over 4%.
Anything? My producer just said hers is 6 what?
Ooh.
6 point what?
Painful.
6.125. Okay, so no.
Yeah, and especially if you're at 5% and over. I mean, because if you've calculated out and you have a $200,000 mortgage and you go from 5.25 down to like 3.75, you're saved $200 a month.
What if the house is underwater? Can you help these people? Can you
if the house is really underwater, because we'll do 80% loan to value, you're probably going to have some money down if the house is underwater.
We'll save a little bit and then go in.
Yeah.
John, we can't.
Appreciate it.
I always love when you come in here because I think it's fascinating. If you're not out there, this is money that you could have in your pocket. Just go and speak to these people at Nutmeg. Thanks so much. All right, Olessa?
Thank you, Scott, and I will be there at 12:15 today.
Okay.
A local library takes printing to a whole new level or dimension. They have a printer that creates 3D objects. That's next. Stay with us.
All right, if a 2.99% interest rated mortgage won't rock your boat,
This will.
This whistle was created on a 3D printer. It was created on a 3D printer. The machine printed it from plastic, complete with the little ball inside.
I don't understand.
At the library in Westport.
And this frog was also created by that printer. As Channel 3's reporter Dan Kane tells us, folks from 8 to 80 are using the printers there to make all sorts of things. Take a look.
We're all familiar with printers as magic boxes that make two-dimensional copies of things, but the printers at the library in Westport can make three-dimensional copies from objects found online. Not something you expect to see in a library.
Probably in the 80s you didn't expect to find personal computers in a library either, and libraries are the perfect place.
Working from online images, the printers lay down layers of plastic and gradually build up objects from the mundane to the magical, a Statue of Liberty or a chain bracelet. One 7th grader made this cell phone cover.
It's a lot of fun because I can make anything I want out of the 3D printer.
Graham has been working with the printers for about 10 weeks.
You hit a button and it starts to happen?
Pretty much. There's not much to it.
Well, are you at all amazed by this?
Yes, I'm very amazed by this.
The printers cost anywhere from $400 for a do-it-yourself kit up to many, many thousands. The ones in Westport cost about $2,500, and folks from 8 to 80 sign up to use them.
We've had inventors here printing out prototypes.
Here we are in a library that is always about sharing ideas, communicating with one another, connecting resources, and that's what this does.
It also makes, in this case, a whistle.
You can just pluck it right off. And there's actually a ball inside it.
Libraries are the perfect place for people of all ages and all stages of their lives to learn about the next disruptive technology.
Disruptive?
Disruptive. Disruptive technology means it's going to make a big difference in our world.
It's an algorithm in the printer that allows it to harden quickly and move a slender thread of plastic out over nothing. I think that's pretty amazing.
And by the way, the whistle works.
It's not something you should really be doing in a library, but...
And as is the case with any innovation, this is just the beginning. Where it goes from here, who knows? We're in Westport.
For Better Connecticut, Dan Kane reporting.
Oh, come on. Is that not cool,
That's
ladies?
pretty cool.
Is that pretty cool? They're all over there chatting it up. How cool is this, again, this little frog? And I didn't know that Sully got a job at the library.
I know. The guy who landed the plane.
Wasn't that him in the story? I think that's amazing. All right, again, it's at the Westport Public Library. Go and check it out.
Very nice. And up next, we're talking to the host of the Brain Games to help us understand why our brain is the most complicated object in the universe.
I'm going to try and find mine. Good luck. We'll be back. Stay with us. All right, welcome back, everybody. Joining us now from National Geographic Show is Brian. The show is called Brain Games, and Jason Silva is the host. Jason, thank you so much for being with us on Better Connecticut.
Thank you much for having me. Thank you so much.
As you can tell, my brain is not working because I can't even read the prompter.
I know.
And this is Olessa, my beautiful co-host. We're so excited to have you on the show. First of all, tell us about Brain Games. What's it going to be like? It's very exciting.
Oh, it's a great ride. You know, the show is a pop science series about the brain, about neuroscience that uses interactive experiments. It uses perceptual illusions designed by brain experts to literally hack your brain, and in doing so reveal a lot of the built-in shortcomings, the limitations in the hardware that is the brain. And that serves as a hook. You know, we blow your mind, we pull the rug from underneath your feet, and then you're like, explain this to me, and then we do explain it to you. So that's why we call it a real interactive, smartertainment offering, because it's going to make you smarter just by watching.
So people at home can play along.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the real star of the show is your brain as a viewer. You play along in a lot of these games that we've created, and they're all visual and they're all fascinating. And by playing along, you have the experience at home of literally we create a crack in your perception of reality. You start to realize that what you see is not always what you get. And that serves as a real hook to make you want to understand what's going on, right? Because when you feel all of a sudden like off balance, the self is thrown into disarray temporarily, you're like, explain this to me, and we do, and that's why we think it's such a fascinating show.
Jason, let me ask you a question. I'm 49, and I've never learned to speak another language, and every time I go to a different country, I'm like, I'm going to learn to speak that language, and then I say, no, I'm 49, I'm too old, my brain can't handle it. Is that true, or can we actually teach our brain new things even as we get older?
We definitely can. In fact, we should. You know, people, there's all these new insights coming out about neural plasticity, you know, and about how the brain actually can rewire itself. And it has all these amazing ways in which it can create new neural pathways. And I think the problem is that people fall into these mental habits. They fall into, again, these neural pathways that they use all the time. And again, that saves energy, but it doesn't engage with the world in new and novel ways. And one of the best ways to exercise the brain is by constantly challenging it. And so that means stepping outside your comfort zone, trying new things. Even changing your commute to work every day will change things up, force your brain to engage with novel information. Learning a new language is one of the best ways you can possibly do that. Travel as well.
Che cosa fai? That's all I know from 4 years of Italian. It's really ridiculous.
That is do you talk to
podemos hablar español si quieres.
See? No, see that.
Да, все понятно, спасибо.
I don't know what she just said.
I said we can talk in Spanish if you want.
Oh, see that? I just learned something new.
It's
right
like
here
the
on the
UN
show.
over
My brain
here.
is
What's
working.
happening? Do you talk to companies? Do you come out and talk to like groups of people, or maybe some kind of like brain teasers for companies or work functions?
Oh, yes. No, I travel around the world and do keynotes on the future of technology, how we use technology to extend the boundaries of the human brain. Part of the reason that I got involved in brain games is because National Geographic caught wind of these short documentaries I was doing on the web that explore the role of technology as a way to help us transcend all previous limits, technology as an instrument for human flourishing. And so I'm really interested, again, in how brains and technology works together, how we dovetail our cognition to increasingly powerful tools. It's a very big interest of mine.
All right,
and, this is how I brain game myself.
Can we play the game? This is the one that came with the press release. I want to say because I think it's fascinating. All right, everybody at home, with Jason's help, pick a number between 1 and 5. Studio audience, pick a number between 1 and 5. Okay, now multiply it by 9. Add the digits of the new number together. Have you done that? Okay.
Yes.
Now subtract 5.
Uh-huh.
Are we all good?
Yeah.
Is your final number 4?
Yes.
Studio audience. Jason, why does that work?
How does that happen?
How does that happen?
Well, this is one of those like mathematical tricks, you know, these things, your brain is a lot more predictable. Your brain receives incomplete information from the world and wants to complete that information. You know, your brain actually receives low resolution 2D images from the outside world and creates a 3D reality. I mean, scientists know exactly what's going on in your brain when you process information, and they can create these little tricks like this puzzle to trick you into it. Here, let me do another one. Let me do another one for you and see if you guys fall for it. So this one has to do with priming and with completing patterns. If I was to ask you the question, Mary's mother has 4 daughters, April, May, June, and?
July.
No. What was the name of what was the first word you said?
Oh, you're smart. Okay, see, he got it wrong, and I think you're onto something here, and let me explain to you why.
We have to go.
When I said the pattern,
quickly.
Go ahead. When I said April, May, and June, you wanted to complete the pattern and say July.
Right.
But actually, the question is, Mary's mother has 4 daughters.
It's Mary.
April, May, June, and Mary. Right. But most people just complete the pattern without looking at the whole question.
Actually, I couldn't hear you because my producer was screaming in my ear to wrap this interview. So, Jason, thank you so much for joining us. The show is aired Mondays, which is tonight, 9 p.m. on National Geographic Channel. It's a fascinating. Jason, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you so much.
We are in the kitchen with Christine Geronimo. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
That was fascinating. Oh, Lord. All right, Christine Geronimo is here. Easy stuff. Oh, bread. This is probably one of... It's just one of my favorite things ever.
This is my go-to appetizer when I'm going somewhere. Do you know how to make a stuffed bread?
Nope.
What do they call it? Is it stromboli? Is there another name
A stromboli,
for this?
I think you use ham. I don't use ham. So this is just an Italian spinach pepperoni stuffed bread.
All right, and
you can make
cheap and easy.
It's always cheap and easy. You can make spinach. You can make just pepperoni. There's you know different ways to do it, but it's all the same idea.
Okay.
So you want to start first with a store-bought pizza dough.
Okay.
And
is this in the frozen section?
Frozen section,
okay.
yeah.
So you don't have to make it from scratch. It comes ready.
Oh, have you seen my segment?
Yes, but I'm fancy. I know how to make things from scratch.
Okay, well, that's going to be your segment.
I'm lying.
Expensive and not easy.
Totally lying.
So you take the pizza dough out in the morning, you put it on the counter, and it's going to rise up twice the size.
Leave it in the bag.
Leave it in the bag. You can take the little tag off. And so what you're going to get is your risen pizza dough by the time you come home.
And this is, you will also hear Josh Groban. You raise me up like I'm a big... Sorry. Go ahead. That was... Thank you, studio.
That was very funny,
I love this audience. Anyway,
they're laughing. I'm dead.
All right, so you got the dough.
So you got the dough. Now you want to prepare, so you get home, your dough is ready. Now you want to prepare a little spinach with some onions. So in a pan with a little bit of oil, you saute your chopped onions, and then you get your frozen chopped spinach.
Okay.
And you drain it.
I just made this from scratch.
And you drain it, and you throw it in, you stir it up, little garlic powder, and you're good to go. So there's your spinach.
So just onions and frozen spinach?
Yeah.
And that's it?
And that's it.
Can you put the whole thing in there frozen? And
No, because you have to drain it a little.
Right, so
it'll be too watery.
And you can use other things, right?
You can put it in your colander in the sink and just let it drain.
Okay, good.
Okay?
All right, we're good to
So
go.
there's your spinach. Now we're going, this is the secret ingredient. Well, pepperoni.
I love
But when
pepperoni.
people make pepperoni bread, they usually make it with the little sliced pepperoni. We're not going to do that. We're going to grate it. But you know what? I'm a little apprehensive to let you grate.
Come on, give me a chance.
The last time you grated the zucchini, do you remember what happened?
Yes, it was not good.
It was not good.
Are you sure you want to do this?
All right, so which side
Right
am I
here, you
using?
just grate the pepperoni. You can just do a little because I actually pre-grated last night.
Oh boy.
So hold it, yeah, be careful.
Oh,
So what
okay.
it does, it releases the pepperoni flavor so that you get a better, it just tastes better. So now we're taking our dough out, okay? Now, all you're going to do with your dough, really...
flour, anything
No, no. I actually put a little bit of oil on it. And you got to work with it, and you stretch out your dough, make it into a nice big rectangle. Now, let's go. You ready? Ready to make this?
I'm ready.
Got our mozzarella cheese that we bought at the store.
Okay, mozzarella cheese.
Mozzarella cheese over it. Okay?
Beautiful.
Now, Olessa, I want you to start spreading the spinach and onion over the top.
Spread your spinach all over the dough and put on a happy face.
Don't quit your day job.
I can. It provides me with health insurance.
Which he clearly needs.
Okay, so now we got our spinach. Put the pepperoni on there.
All right.
Spread it around. Yeah, we're going to just...
Oh, this is nice.
So much better when you grate it. This is the secret.
Nice.
Okay.
That is the secret. Okay.
Now we're going to roll. You ready to roll?
I'm ready to roll. Are we all
We're
rolling
rolling.
together?
Yeah, let's roll. Nice and tight. Roll it. Now we're stop. We're going to take the end, pull it up.
Nice.
Now we're going to put it on the pan, seam down.
Seam down.
Okay.
Look at that.
There it is. Now it's going in the oven just like this.
30 seconds.
350 for 25 minutes until it's brown. And here's it already cut up.
Let's have a little piece.
Oh, it's hot.
It's hot. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
And it actually comes out like this.
Like that? And you cut it up?
You cut it up, and you've got beautiful, delicious.
Absolutely delicious. Thank you,
Yummy.
Christine.
Thank
Recipe will be on our website. Studio audience, thank you so much. We hope you had a good time. Olessa, thank you.